We are live.
It doesn't say we're live online. Oh,
I've just had the notification come through.
All right, now we're live. Now I'm getting it. All right.
We are live. We are live.
Yes. Yes, indeed you do.
I so wish everybody would have been here 5 minutes earlier and listened to what we. It was hilarious.
Yep.
It was so frustrating. You guys have no idea how much like Jay dropped the bomb on us that he's not going to be here or he's going to be late or whatever. Like 5 minutes ago, he's like, "Oh, sorry." I'm like, "What? I have to host?" And I'm like, setting everything up and like, it was a pain in the ass. I was not prepared.
Mike absolutely just stayed very, very quiet.
Then the cursing.
Obviously, Nick is the most loveliest man in the entire world. He never really gets very frustrated or anything like that. We've seen the other side of him.
Yeah, I've got to be honest. It was the first time I've seen the air blue over there.
Yeah. Well, that was just his. That were actually his camera.
Well played. Well played. That was not like that was not even that bad because there's a kid in the house and I'm trying not to yell too loud. But just and it's hot in here. Hold on one sec.
Oh, I got my fan on. I turned it down last week. I'm just keeping that fan on. As we all know, ladies and gentlemen, it is absolutely boiling. If you are here in the UK, it is absolutely boiling. I am sweaty, fat kid.
Dude.
Again.
That's the point. I forgot to turn my fan on.
See? I need a fan like directly underneath me here, just blowing right at the crotch area.
That's all right.
You know?
As long as you can stand the smell, you're fine.
Just, I hope I don't fleef during that time, because that would be rough.
You got another fleef.
We'll pass the fleefing.
You know what? I set up the call an hour ago, and I started the thumbnail, and like I didn't finish the thumbnail until like 2 minutes after 2 my time. So
the thumbnail was absolutely corking, I must say, and thank you very much for taking your time to do it, mate. Looks absolutely corking.
If I had more time, it would be way better too, because I was planning on doing everyone with like a different thing above their head. So I was gonna do Jay with like the little, or no, like Jay like this, Mike like this. I didn't know if like what I wanted to do for you, Aiden. I was gonna do the peace sign, but I know if you do it one way, it's fuck you over there. So
yeah, it's over there.
You have to make sure you do it like that, not like that.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have to do it the other way around here.
It's that's the very definition of like duality, because it's like peace and fuck you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it does work exactly like that.
Yep.
So,
it means it's easy for when your enemy pisses you off.
Right, there you go.
Because straight away it's at the turn of the hand, isn't it? It's just like, yeah, we want peace. Yeah, fuck you, mate.
Yeah, right.
Good evening, everybody in chat. It's nice to see everybody on there. Do you want to give them a bit of a shout out, Mike?
What's up, everyone? How we doing, Jules? David? Philip? Jay Jerry? Grumpy Old Vapor? Cows Irons? Dion? Dire Thing? Sam's in the house as well. Bronco Monk's in the house. Joe McIntyre? Lien Custom Creations? God's sake, I need to put my reading glasses on. Don't get old, people. Natural facts, I think I will put my reading glasses on.
Yeah, especially with this next one.
Oi, don't look at the TV screen when you bloody got no glasses on. Ah, that's better.
Oh.
HD writing. Ian, Dazzy Vapes.
Still can't read.
I am dyslexic.
Oh. That made me feel
I'm
bad.
telepathetic.
Street Sleeper, Dan Demure's in the house as well. Still enjoying your dreamer, are you, Dan Demure?
Right on, right on. How is everyone doing tonight or this evening or whatever time it is, wherever you're watching? Yeah, let's go over what everybody's been vaping on. And Mike, why don't you go ahead? I know you're going to be short and sweet.
Yeah, I've only got 2 setups with me again tonight. I'm on the V-Boy with the Aromomizer Plus again. In that, I have, which one is it? That one. A bit of Truth or Pear by Six Licks.
Nice.
Which is a strawberry pear and lime flavour. And then I'm on one of my favourite classic mods that I own, my Dreamer V1 with the Mini Buddha V2 on the top. Lethal Coils 0.1 aliens in there at the moment. And on that one, I have another Six Licks Liquid Gold, which is, where are you? There you are, blackcurrant, apple, raspberry. So, 2 really nice juices they are, actually.
Sweet. Are you doing a review for those?
Possibly. They are ones I might review, yeah.
Nice.
So, they are nice. They are both nice juices, though. And somewhere around, I've got another one of theirs, which is Melon on Mind, which is a watermelon menthol. Or watermelon iced.
Saint Cunty McFuckoff is not happy that you skipped him.
Sorry, Graham, I didn't see you in chat, mate.
And we have Grumpy Old Vapor says, "Don't get old, I'm 54 today." Does that mean it's your birthday today? If so, happy birthday.
Happy birthday, you old bugger.
Happy birthday to you.
You make me feel young telling me that.
Nice. Aiden, why don't you go ahead and tell us what you're vaping on?
I tell you what, it's not very much at all. Again, I've come in from what I've been doing and then just stuck my setups up as you do. That didn't sound very good, did it? I've got the Infinite. I love this. The battery life just lasts for days upon days upon days. And I've got on there is the Freemax Mesh Pro. And in that, I have got the new, I don't know if anybody subscribes to him, absolute corking subscribe. You know, where you get your e-liquid sent to each month, which is the Vape Mail. They've come up with their own range, which is the Gorilla Juice. And this is the Tropical Freeze. Still think it's a little bit minty. The review's coming up for that, but I do quite like it. Clouds for days on this. Triple mesh. Obviously, I've got the fan going as well.
I was going to say, it's a breeze.
Like
a breeze for days.
Yeah, I want to try that tank, but everywhere's out of stock of the bloody thing now.
Oh, mate, it is well worth it. Review coming up for it. Should have been last week, but I've had to work. I've had lots of bits and bobs to do. So back to normal this week. Tomorrow, early morning start. Also, I've had a menthol week. I've been right into my menthol. I don't know why. So I got the Vim out. I'm using the 1 ohm coil on there. And some crappy Edge, it's called. It's something, I'd run out of menthol and I just picked it up at a shop. And it's not bad. It's Edge, it's called. It cost me £2.50 for 30 mils. And it's just the menthol that I wanted. And it is a nice little kick of menthol on it. And then I am on the Captain, the new one from Vaptio. Looks really nice, weighs absolutely nothing with 218 650s in it. But the tank, which is called the Paragon, again, it's a mesh coil, makes a right racket. Listen to this. Tastes nice, loads of clouds, but it makes such a racket. And in that, I've got the last bit of the ferocious flavors. Like I said, I'm on the menthol rush, which is the Heisenberg that they do. I really do like that. And that is roughly what I've been vaping on. But I'll tell you what I have been vaping on all week while I've been doing my bits and bobs is pod systems. I've had 2 of them going. One is the Marshmallow, and I've also had the Kilo going as well, which has been right. And I've been taking a little battery pack charger, so I've been able to stick them in. Lasted me all day. Nice and stealthy.
Noise.
Over to the one and only Nick. What have you been vaping on this week? Hi.
Right, so I have my regular setups this week. I've got the BTFC with the Mage 217. Beautiful cloud production from this one at 133 watts. Yeah, I've got a 0.07 build in here, and it's ripping. And it's not that hot. I know what you're saying, but no, it's not that hot. I've got that cake batter dough, and it's like a confetti cake, and it's delicious. That's like one of the only dessert vapes that I can stand for more than like 24 hours. Next, I've got the Puma box mod and the Vape Skynet tank. Now, Skynet, I'm going to be saying this in my vlog tomorrow, but the Skynet tank is like a combination of all of the other like 2018 sub-ohm tanks. It's got the bubble glass, the big drip tip, mesh coils, and triple airflow. And it's not bad, but it's just kind of like they're just following suit with what everyone else is doing.
Hang on. What film was Skynet the big bad in? Was it Terminator?
Yes.
No, I'd heard that before somewhere.
That word just escaped me the second you asked. I've got some Jungle Juice by Mayhem Vapor in there. It's like a peach pear tropical blend. Really good stuff. Next one I've got is the Rinco Manto and the Falcon tank on there with a 3-week-old mesh coil. And it's still going strong. I cannot believe it.
What's that?
The wattage-wise? 70. I keep it straight 70 watts. And I've got Blaz Peach on there. Yeah. The Blaz Peach. The one that's coming over in a couple of days for London Vape Show. Yeah, that Blaz.
Nice.
Unfortunately, I couldn't get the short fills done in time, but soon something will happen, I swear. I'll be bringing a ton over, so don't worry about that.
Just give me shares in the melon flavor.
Fair enough. Then what else do I have? Oh yeah, 2 new setups that you'll be seeing on the vlog tomorrow. One is the iJoy Avenger Baby, which is kind of interesting. It's got this like, I don't know if you can see the rainbow kind of tint on the glass, but it's got like a rainbow tint to it. It's really weird. It's kind of cool. I mean, take it or leave it, I guess. But this takes 2350 batteries. So they're 20 millimeters wide and 35 millimeters tall. And it's just like teeny little batteries. Hold on, I'll show you.
What's that called?
2350s.
No, I meant the mod.
Oh. The Avenger Baby.
All right. And
You
how long
know,
are you getting out of them batteries then?
I have been using it for literally a little over 12 hours, and that's including me sleeping. So can't say too much as far as the battery. They're 2 bars a piece, and that was from the factory charge, so not bad at 57 watts. But performance-wise, 1400 a piece.
Oh.
And in there I've got some Nasty Juice. This is Slow Blow, one of my favorites. And I hope I can get some more when I go over there. I'm going to stock up on my favorite UK juices when I'm over there. We got to hit up a vape shop or something. And then I've got this little guy. Ta-da!
The fuck?
Iron
Man's offspring.
This is like I think it's called the Diamond PD or something like that. I forget exactly what it's called, but just this little tiny pod kind of vape. It's got these little things that come out that you refill.
I'm loving them sort of stuff, mate.
And let me find it. Here it is. I'm dropping stuff everywhere. It's got this adapter for you to use actual pods in. So this is an actual pod from the Fix. I've got these Infusion Blue Raspberry pods, and you can actually use.
That's a brilliant idea, that, isn't it?
Yes. I believe they are also doing a Jewel Pod one, and I think a few others. That's cool.
Yeah, it is, yeah. That's a corking idea.
So I can use my pods, have really nice battery life. It's got an internal battery, and so far the battery's been lasting a while because, you know, I'm at 3.7 volts on a 1.7 ohm coil. So it's going to last a while, obviously. I feel like I could get days.
Matt Chandler says you're vaping on Iron Man's dick.
Of course, of course. You know, if it wasn't red, damn it, any color but red. Seriously. But that is what I have this week. So, and in the little tanky bit here, this little guy, I've got some homebrew. I really need more of this stuff. This is so gorgeous. I'm down to my last like 2 milliliters, so I need more. But this is the lemon lime lolly. It's delicious.
I'll have a look up, see if there's an Evapo store in central London for when you're over.
Yeah, we'll have to check something out. But that is me.
I never got to try that.
What's that?
Homebrew stuff is really good. It's Evapo's own brand.
Oh, okay.
So if you go on the Evapo website, that's where you can buy it online. And the Nick salts are 3 bottles for £10, same as the Vampire Vape stuff.
You know the marshmallow pod system. It was there at Expo. I've been finding it hard to get pods for that. They did like a blueberry tobacco flavour, and it's absolutely beaut. And I've been trying to look for the pods online, and I just can't find them. So if anybody's got a link to anywhere where you can get the marshmallow pods from, because I've got the review coming up for it soon, and I've run out.
Nick Phillips just messaged me telling me that Evapo are actually at the London Vape Show as well.
Oh,
sweet!
So you'll be able to get your own brew from there.
Yes. I'm excited. I am excited, guys. I am so excited. And I can't believe it's coming up so quick too, man. Like I feel like it was like just yesterday. It was about 3 weeks away, and I'm just like, now it's a couple days before I take off, and I'm just overwhelmed right now. I still haven't.
What day are you setting off?
I'm leaving the U.S. on Wednesday night, and I'm landing in the U.K. Thursday morning. Jay's gonna pick me up at the airport, and we're going to go straight over to his mother-in-law's house because his son is getting his exam results that day, I guess.
Yep.
Oh, wicked.
So we're going to go do that thing, and then we're going to go pick Mike up, and then we're going to go back to Jay's house and have a barbecue.
Talking of exam results, my nephew's just got his A-level results.
Nice.
And he's done fucking well. He got 2 distinction stars, which are the highest you can get apparently for A-levels. And he got a merit, which is technically a B for his woodwork one. But he's got his place at uni, and he's already been offered a job for once he's passed his degree at the secondary school that he was going to, because he's going to train to be a drama teacher.
Oh, brilliant! Well, congratulations to him, mate.
Yeah. So 18 years old, he's already got a job position guaranteed.
That's pretty sweet.
I mean, he was actually teaching while he was doing his A-levels.
I worked at a supermarket when I left school. I was doing my, I started singing at 16. But I started delivering leaflets when I was 14 for a company called Woods' Food Market. And then they gave me a Saturday job. And the only reason why I took the Saturday job, because it was actually on the deli counter. So when people weren't looking, I used to nick slices of meat and bits of cheese. All day just picking out. Hey man, I'm gonna eat everything. Why is there only a little bit of chicken left? I had it.
I've got to be fair. I think my first job, I was actually still at school.
Yeah, well, what's the food market?
Yep, I was actually going to school, coming home, having my dinner, and then going off to deliver people's pizzas.
Nice. Pizza man like.
Yep. And I was one of those little nutters that used to take the mopeds off-road, and people would get their pizzas with the toppings all over the box and not on the pizza.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that when that happens. When they give it you upside down. There you go.
Yep. No, one delivery I remember. It was one that I'd had an argument with the customer before on a previous delivery.
Oh,
so I thought, yeah, I'm going to go down the BMX track on the moped before I take it to them. So I'll go
on the Actung spit.
No, I actually was going over the tabletop jump at sort of like 25, 30 mile an hour on a moped with their pizza in the back box.
Sorry, I thought you were on a BMX. I'm going to say, fucking hell, how much do your legs go?
Why does that sound like a really cool idea for a video game?
Oh, what, BMX? Yeah, brilliant, that wasn't it?
Pizza Boy BMX.
I was going to say, they did the BMX game back in the 80s.
Well, yeah, I've seen the BMX ones, but like combine the two.
Yeah. Well, there used to be Paperboy, didn't there, as well?
Yep.
Like
remember
blue,
Paperboy.
and he used to like what you looked like earlier, and then you kept throwing it. You threw your papers, didn't you?
Oh man.
So
Old
what have you
school?
got for us, Nick? Have you got anything good for us, brother?
For what, news?
Yeah.
No, there's never any good news in the vape industry. There's more flavor bans, there's more restrictions, there's more taxes, there's more everything every week.
You need to move over here. That's what you need to do.
It's getting a lot better over there.
I don't know, I've heard some kind of bad news over there as well. Like, you know, how the UK government isn't listening to science and they're just ignoring it completely and all that. Like, what's going on over there?
Yeah, but they have actually come out and said the MPs are backing vaping as well. That was in the midweek, saying that they should actually listen to it a little bit more, which was really good news. They're even actually on about, which obviously we don't want to go down the pharmaceutical route, but we were looking a little bit more that there was on about being able to get them on prescription, which can be a little bit more to get them off of smoke, you know, instead of like the patches and stuff. As long as they didn't make it so it was a pharmaceutical product, it could work.
Well, there's language, the FDA released a statement recently, and there's language in there that says that they're considering making vaping a pharmaceutical product over here. And that could be a big time no good thing, because you're talking about prescriptions and you're talking about way more money to have vapor products go through the process of being tested. I mean, much more like, you know, extreme testing would be needed to be considered an actual pharmaceutical product.
Yeah, there's been a lot of backing. Even the NHS have come up with, my brother posted a thing the other day as well, about that they were saying that to no smoking on the grounds, but you can vape. There was actually talk about being vape rooms as well in hospitals.
Yep, that because well, I've said it before. Back in the 90s, you actually had smoking rooms on every ward, and they've been talking about.
They were there for ages, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, last time I actually done a stint of staying in hospital when I had the suspected heart attack, they had smoking rooms then on every ward, and they're talking about basically putting the room aside again and making it into a type like a vape lounge.
That's actually kind of cool. See, that's the thing that like confuses me over here, because like all your hospitals have, you know, the signs outside that say no smoking 20 feet from the door, whatever, and then it also says, but you can vape. Which is so strange.
Our hospitals are trying to ban smoking altogether from within the grounds,
but not vaping.
Yeah,
that's so strange. Over here, it's like no smoking,
Sorry.
no vaping, no nothing anywhere close to the hospital.
Well, that's the same here. You can't actually smoke in the grounds of any hospital.
No.
And it was quite sad driving past Doncaster Hospital, and what you were seeing were all these people who were sick. They've got the drips, they've got the monitors, and they were having to drag them. It wasn't like they was having to drag them down a nice straight path. They're having to go up a hill and then down the and they were all of them just lined up.
Yep.
That's
Which a hospital stint could make people stop smoking, couldn't it? Because if they're being in hospital and they could vape in a room, it might give them a chance then to try vaping properly.
Yeah. But then in some ways, I can see that being a bad idea. I mean, ultimately, it's going to be a good idea because you're getting people off of the fags and that, which is the idea of vaping. But then on the other hand, if they're forcing it down your throat, that's going to put even more of a bad light on vaping. If in that respect, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, like I said, the Walking Dead Smokers Edition.
Yeah.
Coming out, just sitting there with 20 Berkeley. And they're all chain smoking as well, because they know they can't come out for another 20, like 2 or 3 hours. So they're having to have like 40 fags all at once.
Oh my God.
They're all on about kids doing that dueling. If you go outside in an hospital, they've got about 18 fags out of the mouth. Like.
Yep.
Yeah, it is bad. Are we dropping frames, Nick?
No, I just I had to resize the OBS window or the Zoom window on the fly.
Mate, you've done it really well, though. To say you only had 5 minutes to do it, dude, you've done really well, mate.
Man, I try, but I had to set up the audio. The audio for Macs is really funky. I don't know if anyone cares or whatever, but you have to route it through a program that allows you access to the actual system audio. So I have to route it through there, and then through Zoom, I have to have a little cheap USB sound card that I bought, and I have to plug my headphones into that because I can't have two outputs at the same time. So the USB audio kind of tricks the system into believing that I have two outputs from like one card, basically. You can only have one output per sound card, so I have to plug in my own little mini sound card in the back of my computer, which is I'm lucky I figured that out.
I don't know if it's different. I don't know if it's different for a Mac, but I've never really had to do that. The only thing I've had to do is just set everybody's mics up, and mine's already plugged in by USB. Because obviously I use that when I'm DJing. I've got a number of little sound cards. You just plug into the USB, and you can either have a mic or you can have your earphones.
Yeah, well, that's the same kind of concept for what I've done here. You know, if you're DJing, you have one output going to the speakers, and you have another output going to your headphones, so you can listen to the track to set it up. And that's essentially what I'm doing here, because right now, if I had it just routing through the sound card and going through OBS, then I wouldn't be able to hear it at all. So I had to trick it into thinking that I have I do have two sound cards, because that little cheapo USB one is a little mini sound card.
Yeah.
But now I have no control over my own volume in my headphones. So I take what I could get at this point.
So do you know on your actual PC itself, sorry to go into it, you're learning me, have you not just got a headphones port anyway?
I have a headphone port, but when I have it set up with the headphone port and I want to have my system audio running through OBS, which is the only way to get Zoom to work with OBS on a Mac. It's funneling all the audio through that, and I can't then therefore have a monitor plugged into the headphone jack because all the output is going through OBS. Right. Yeah. I can't believe I actually made it work. I mean, it's a minor miracle.
So, yeah. Mike, have you seen anything you'd like to talk about, brother, out to roundabouts?
To be honest, I've been so busy this week with work, I haven't had a chance to read up on anything properly.
Right.
I've been seeing articles and I've been sharing them around, but I just haven't had time to read anything.
Have you seen any new shinies that you quite like?
Shinies. Well, as I say, I'm still contemplating getting the Slam mod when I'm at London, because I do know that Purge are going to be there with Superior Vapor again this year. So I'm interested to see what the actual release is, because from what we've been told, they are doing a release at the show for a mod.
So do you think it's going to be that then?
Somewhere around I heard that there's a Slam 2 out now in America. I heard that there was a Slam 2 mod out. Whether it's true or not, I don't know.
Didn't they just come out with a Slam 1?
It was only a couple of months ago, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, they were talking about the Slam back at Expo.
Yeah.
So, I mean, to me, that's a bit of a short time for one mod to come out and another one to come straight out after it.
It is, yeah. Slam 2.
Yeah. So, I mean, if that is the case, then obviously the Slam has not sold well. They've had to tweak it a little bit. But we'll find out, won't we?
Yeah.
And apparently there's 2 other mech mod companies there. I can't remember the names of them. I'll be having a look there, see what they've got.
Obviously, we're all going to be there helping out on the stall, doing little bits and bobs, aren't we?
Yep.
Where you're all going to be able to get a free starter kit for people who want to stop smoking.
Well, we're going to be setting people up with their new starter kits, yeah.
Yeah, if you have a pack of cigarettes and you crush them and throw them away, then you get a free starter kit. So bring your smoker friends.
Yeah, I think that's one of the great ideas about this show. When I heard about it last year, obviously I didn't go. I just thought it was a corking idea. They don't do it at Expo. They don't do it at Jam. You're getting people off the stinkies, so you can actually start inviting your friends who do smoke. Come and have a look at what you can get, and then you can set them up on a starter kit and take it from there. And obviously, they can try a bit of juice as well, can't they? Not like they can do in all shops. They can try lots of different juice.
Yeah. Yeah. Kenny's saying that the Slam V2 was at ECC.
Really?
Was it?
Yep.
Was it prototype or was it like a real thing? I don't know. This is the first time hearing about it.
Is the Manchester show gone off yet?
No, that's happening the weekend after London. That's the... hang on, I've got tickets for it here. Tell you the exact dates. It is the 1st and 2nd of September.
I'd love to have gone to that, but I'm at a wedding.
Right. What is that one called?
Huh?
What is that one called?
This one is the UK Vapors Lifestyle Expo.
Cool. Are you going then?
I'm unable to. I'm back at work then.
Oh.
So I've got 3 free tickets.
Just think, Nick, you could have made it a one weekend and then another weekend, couldn't you? Really, and spread your ticket out.
I really wish I could stay over there for longer, honestly. I mean, even with this right now, it's pushing it because we just opened a new shop over here and we have no coverage at all. So it's going to be interesting. I told my boss about this in March. I said, at the end of August, I'm going to London. And he's like, okay, yeah, we'll work it out. And then a couple weeks ago, he's like, oh, we're going to an expo in Virginia. And I'm like, that's the same weekend I'm going to be in London. He's like, oh. So he has no idea what's going on. I have no idea what's going on. All I know is I've got a plane ticket and I'm leaving, and that's all there is to it.
Bossies.
Nick, have you seen anything about that you quite like, or something that you might pick up, or?
I've been so busy, man. I've been busy with my own design right now. I'm working on that, and the way it sounds is I will at least have prototypes at Expo, if not full release, but I don't know. It's going to be tough at this point because right now they're traveling to America. They're going to be going to the Expo over here, and obviously I'll be going over there. So basically a week or 2 weeks is just completely out for that because, like, they have to travel over, and it's like probably a 20-hour flight, you know, from China all the way to the east coast of America. So they're working that out, and they take a few days before and a few days after off. So basically that's like a week and a half just gone. So I won't be able to get them further revisions or anything like that for, you know, basically 2 weeks at this point. And I already have some more ideas from the last time we spoke. So it's moving along slowly but surely, but I'm pretty excited, you know, because of the progress that I've made. As far as anything, I haven't even had time to look at the vendors at LVS, unfortunately. Like, I've seen the ones that they've been posting on Instagram and stuff, which is cool. And I mean, I'll be looking around, obviously, when I'm at the show. I'll be keeping my eyes open for stuff that I want to pick up, but I'm not really, you know, super in need of hardware or anything right now. I mean, I've got tons of stuff on my plate as it stands, but, you know, I'll keep my eyes open.
Sorry to butt into you, but you know, what you've actually got in the pipeline, you know, is it an RDA or, because I've not actually heard about it, is it an RDA, or can you give us a little bit more of a bit of a tickle what you've actually got in the pipeline? Or
all right, well, it's an RDA, and it's from a company that is very well known and has worked with many other YouTubers in the past. It's probably I don't want to say too much about it, you know? I got to be really careful. The patrons know exactly who I'm working with because I've told them already. But I'm trying something with this one here that no one has ever done before. And I'm pretty sure no one's ever done exactly like this way before. I've seen a few designs that are like kind of similar to what I've got going on, but not quite the same. So I'm kind of excited to see how people, take this one and how people use it and what they build on it and all that. Because it's going to be one of those things that's you're going to be able to get a little bit flexible with, and I don't know. It's exciting because I've never seen something quite like what I've got going on, and I really can't wait to see it in actual physical form. Because right now it's just been drawings and 3D renderings and stuff like that, and they always come back to me with problems and stuff, so I have to fix it. And once we get the actual design like finalized, that's when I can start talking about it a little bit more and start teasing you guys a little bit more. But I just really can't wait for that prototype stage to start.
Yeah, so you can have a little look at it. Big shout out to GBV, brother from another mother. Love you loads, brother. Just a question to Mike from me. Like there's quite a number of YouTube reviewers and people are involved coming out where they're mixing with obviously companies and they are coming up with their own designs. There's quite a number, obviously TVP's got one coming out as well. Mike Vapes. Is it gimmicky? Is there a place for it? And is it right? What's your opinion on it?
What, on companies using reviewers' designs?
Yeah, and jumping on their name, so to speak.
Personally, I think it's a good idea because as the bigger reviewers who are the ones that are getting it done, or bigger than us, so to speak, or me, so to speak, but they know more about what works and what doesn't work. So they take what works for them personally out of multiple items, combine it into one item, which for them is a perfect item. Hopefully,
yeah.
Which is why they get the prototype. And then once they've had the prototype and they can say, yeah, I like this, no, I don't like this, or this little bit needs changing, this needs tweaking, goes back, prototype number 2 comes out. And then the cycle carries on, and until that person is 100% happy with that design and how it's performing, then it will get released to the public, and hopefully the public will like it. So no, I think it's a very good idea.
And that's actually the difference between how a reviewer operates and how a company operates, because the company just goes, all right, we came up with this design, it works, it has coils, it has airflow, it has all this, put it out there, see what everyone thinks about it. Whereas like a reviewer wants to tweak and change and like form and mold it to their specific kind of idea. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that I like about that, because China has no beta test stage. It's literally just, all right, yep, looks good, run it, Yep. And then the reviewers get it and we all go, dude, this thing sucks. Mm-hmm. Or sometimes it's a win, but I would say more rarely than a reviewer designed RDA. And I'm not saying that every reviewer designed RDA is going to be absolute gold, but I think they're way better than some of the just straight up company designed RDAs or devices for that matter. And in that sort of same train of thought, it's like, these reviewers, you guys would be really surprised with how much they are geared towards the engineering side of things. Like, when you listen to some guys talk like the Vapor Chronicles, Brian, he is so knowledgeable about the design process. Like, he is really good at what he does, and I'm like really impressed with him as far as how much input he has in his own designs. He's like, oh, we can use this material, we can use this type of screw, we can use this type of O-ring. Like, he knows all of that stuff, and I'm over here like sketching on napkins like, oh, this looks cool. So it's really cool to see product reviewers blossom into designers. Go ahead. Sorry, Aiden.
Sorry, no, mate. You're talking to me. You know what I'm like. I'm terrible. Just tell me off. It's just like they were saying there. It's all right for big name reviewers just to slap the name on something, like your Rip Trippers and stuff like that. Stick your name on it, and it's just for them to just sell it. But it's a difference of such as yourself and TVP and other people who have done it. I really enjoyed when we were at last Expo. It's Stan, isn't it, Tenacious?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dreamer. Lovely, lovely bloke. And just being able to sit down with him just for a little while and tell me the process of, excuse me, how he come around with the design. He was on about with I think it was the 21700 batteries, were it? Or how he was going to make them, they were auto firing. So what he had to do was he had to design it a little bit different, and obviously he had to then send it back and bits and bobs. And it was just great how he was saying how it all works. Obviously he's gone on the designing bit, but like what they were saying in chat, if somebody's just a big reviewer and slamming the name just on something just to make a little bit of money,
yeah, that I don't agree with.
No,
you would think that's the case in a lot of situations, but I believe that most of the more popular YouTuber and reviewer designed devices are mostly them. But there are some things that you have to kind of like pull back a little bit on, because like obviously, you know, some people would be like, I want this 40 millimeter RDA with 18 posts and all that, and it's like, okay, relax. Let's scale it down. Let's do this. And you have to kind of go back and forth with the company to keep the cost down a little bit, but also to have the basic premise of what you designed and what you are imagining still in the final. So it's a back and forth process, but you know, we get there in the end. We kind of make concessions a little bit for certain things, and other things we insist on getting our way with.
Do you think they're going to be moving out? Obviously, there's been the recurve swamp mod, haven't they? Is it the recurve?
Yeah, I've got one.
Do you think they're going to be branching more out into making their own mods as well, coming up with new ideas of it?
I think that Watofo is really getting rolling now. Like, they're really starting to come into their own, because if you look at their history, you know, they were doing the troll RDA like 4 years ago, and that was a really good RDA. And since then they've kind of been doing the same thing, kind of taking bits and pieces from other RDAs, other designs, and then they started collaborating with YouTubers, and then that's when they really started to steamroll ahead. And I think the mod side of things, like, they've done a couple of mods already, and they're pretty damn good. So I'm really impressed. On the flip side of that, I unfortunately feel like iJoy is starting to go down the route of smoke or smock, and they're starting to come up with just nothing but, we made a big version, make a small version. We did this, now do that, and kind of just copying itself and copying what other people are doing, and they're not really like pushing the envelope forward that much. So I don't know. I think this could be the next smock, unfortunately. I mean, iJoy is a decent company. I feel like they make their stuff a little bit better than them. However, just like they have no creativity in their designs, and I kind of want to see more YouTubers partner with the bigger companies like Smock and iJoy and Vaperesso and Sigelli. Sigelli needs some help, but
yeah,
I would love to see more people partner up with them to come up with new designs and to come up with new technology, because what we've seen so far is a lot of the kind of smaller-ish companies working with YouTubers for actual mods, and you know, it would be a nice refreshing change of pace to see Smoke or Smock move away from the Alien and the Baby Beast and the T-Series and all that. Just all those things, they need to go away. Let's face it. They need some original, fresh ideas.
Well, it all went for that sort of chase of who was going to get the big wattage, wasn't it? If you go back maybe a year back or 6 months back, it was this great big wattage. Who could smash the wattage? You know what I mean? Who vapes at 200 odd watt? If the actual device does it, nobody vapes at that sort of wattage anyway.
Even
I know there was a big wattage race.
Right. And I mean, even nowadays, you're still seeing it. It's 234 watts. It's 240 watts. It's like everyone's kind of like just slightly edging each other out and not really doing anything else with their mods or their designs. They're just making them in new size boxes. And, you know, some people are using the bigger batteries, which is great. But I just want to see more innovation. I want to see more safety practices. I want to see more, things that change the vaping experience, and instead of just the wattage race and the looks, because we're so just used to it by now. Whenever Smock comes out with a new design, everyone goes, "Oh, did you see this new one?" It's like, yeah, it does the exact same thing as the last one, except it has lights on it. Big deal.
Like, so you can drop it out like a gun. You know what I mean? Bits like that.
Yep.
It's like Sigelli. Sigelli went down the same sort of route. They always make decently well-made products, but they went down the light sort of thing, didn't they? Flashing lights and.
Oh, and that latest Sigelli that looked like something that Mr. T would hang around his fucking neck.
Yes.
What, the Sobra?
Was it the 66 they come out with? The 66 or something? That were a nice mod that they did. I think my brother got one with his name scribed on it. But all these new lights and stuff, I don't see why you need them.
No. Yeah. I mean, even as something as simple as this, it has a freaking light on it. They just can't get their head away from putting lights on stuff. Let's face it. I mean, it's got a chip in it. Let's put a light on it. Ding, So, but you also have to factor in that in China, certain things are considered like cool, right? So like the Sigelli Sobra, we were talking about it on Vape Stew. The Sigelli Sobra, which looks like a freaking snake and the eyes light up, they probably think that's super cool over there. And over here, it's like, really? So it's that like difference of culture that really like separates it. And I just want to see more influences from the Western world in the, manufacturing process for China, because so many times you come up with where they come up with these stupid things like voice activation. Like, I don't care. It doesn't even work that great.
It's no good if you Vic Mullins either, because he don't work on a Scottish accent, so it's no good. The other thing as well, I've been surprised of not coming from sort of over China, a mod with a Tamagotchi on it, where you used to have to feed it and stuff. Stuff come out in the 90s, just like my haircut. I know I do, I'm still in the 90s. Where you're like an animal that you had to feed it all the time. I'm surprised that sort of hasn't come out, or it might have done and I've not seen it.
Don't tempt them. They will do that. I swear. Oh God, don't. It's going to be called the iPet or something.
The iPet,
the iJoy iPet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, we're talking about mods at the time. Have you seen the new Wismec, the one that's come out with the Bluetooth speaker?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you know much about it, Nick?
They actually just emailed me about it. They want to send me one, so I'm gonna absolutely say yes to that and check it out for myself, because I want to do exactly what they do in their advertising and dunk it underwater and all that. Screw it, test it out.
The thing that sort of surprises me with it, obviously it's got a Bluetooth speaker in it as well, waterproof, all that. It's got an inbuilt battery.
Yeah, 2,400 mAh in it.
It's only 2,100 mAh.
Not 2,100.
Really? Oh my God.
So if you've got a Bluetooth speaker and you're vaping on it, surely that battery life's going to be what?
3 hours?
I was going to say, you best be walking around with a 24,000 mAh battery bank.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you was going to do so, and I'm looking at it now, if you was going to do something with it, you would have thought they would have made sure that there was a bigger battery in there. Now, if you go to something like the Joytech Silk, that's got a 2,800 mAh battery in that, and that's that size.
Yeah. Is that a built-in?
This active should have a little bit more. It comes with the Armor NS Plus.
Nah, I just write their tanks off straight away. Is that bad?
Nah, well, you've got to try it.
Wismec hasn't come up with a good idea for a tank in a very long time. In my opinion.
1.3 ohm head.
1.3?
Yeah, 1.3 ohm.
Wait.
Mouth
really?
to lung.
Oh. So it's a mouth to lung vape. I thought it was going to be like sub-ohm. Oh, okay. That makes a little bit more sense.
It takes 3 coils. It goes, there is a 0.2 ohm head, which is 40 to 80 watts. Then you've got a triple, which is a 0.25 ohm head, which is 40 to 120 watts. But then you also can have a mouth to lung, which is 1.5 ohm head, which is 7 to 13 watts, which is obviously if you're going to use it through the day, you're going to obviously have to use the mouth to lung, aren't you?
Yeah, you're gonna have to. I mean, 2100 milliamp hour, and it's a 510 thread, I'm assuming, so you could probably put whatever you want on top of there. But if you're using anything sub-ohm, you're looking at maybe tops 3 hours. Do you know what the power rating is, wattage wise?
What the output?
Yeah.
0.5 to 9 volts.
Does it do any wattage?
The wattage. I'm just looking now. Sorry.
No worries.
I think it's an 80 watt. I think I saw it.
Yeah.
80 watt.
Yeah, probably very similar to the CB60, but a little bit more power.
You'd think if there was going to put I'm quite happy for the speaker. I know it sounds a bit silly, but if you were sat somewhere and you want to just plug your music, obviously you've got your phone, just put it aside, and it's quite a good gimmick. But you'd have thought that they'd give it a little bit more oomph, wouldn't you?
Yeah, at 2100 milliamp. I mean, how long could that run a Bluetooth speaker for? You know, and if that's the case, then you're going to kill that thing with the speaker and not be able to vape.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
It doesn't sort of work out that way, does it?
It's very, very, very gimmicky. But if it works as far as being waterproof and all that, then that's fine. I mean, I have no real big issue with that. It's gimmicky still, but it'll be good for some people.
Did you take it swimming while you were vaping, or?
No. You can't get the tank wet. That's the problem. You no matter what, you can't get the tank wet. Same thing with the Geek Vape Aegis Legend. You don't want to submerge it completely. You have to you could dunk it up to here, but not fully, you know? But I don't know. I mean, is it innovation? Not really, because you're just throwing extra stuff on there. It's not pushing the envelope as far as getting a better vaping experience. It's literally just adding extra pieces on it. It's like adding a flashlight to something. It's like, okay, well, you just put a flashlight on it, or LEDs all over the place. It's just not really doing anything. So I want to see companies improve their mods performance, improve the battery capacity, improve the functionality, improve the menu system, do things that are going to allow people to vape much easier, so people that are just getting into vaping have something that's just incredibly easy. You can screw it on, you can fill it up with juice, and you just vape. You don't have to touch settings or anything like that, whereas right now they're just tacking on extra little things, and it's just really not my thing. Not really into it.
I think for me, you've hit the nail on the head. I also like, obviously, a lot of the new devices like Jack Vapor and people like that are doing it where you can have one device where you can start off as a mouth to lung, and then you can move up if you want to go to a direct to lung. I like these options that they give people who are just starting off, because when they're just starting off, they just want the mouth to lung, and then if they want to go a little bit further forward, they don't have to buy, another device.
And actually, Mike did his review on the OPS1, or what, OBS? OPS1.
OPS, yeah, the Oopsie.
Yeah, the Oopsie.
Oopsie one, yeah. It's upstairs, yeah.
So, Mike, you did your review on that, and I did watch that one, and,
Fuck me, you actually watched one of my videos.
Yeah, I hit
Were you feeling all right that day, or were you bored shitless?
No, I was listening to your smooth voice there.
Oh, you were treating me as an ASMR again, was you?
But no, I wanted to check it out anyways because I wanted to, hear your thoughts on it. Mm-hmm. Coming from the mech side of things, that's the interesting thing about your channel is you're like, yeah, it's a decent pod system, but it's not for me because I'm a mech guy, mm-hmm. Which is pretty much what everything regulated and everything sub-ohm tank is going to be for you. It's like, yeah, it's an okay sub-ohm tank, but I'm a mech guy.
Yeah, the other thing is though, Nick, I liked the Solo Flat, the Vaptio Solo Flat. That was a good pod system. Fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I think it's poorly made and it's cheap.
Yeah, I'll give you its due. It is poorly made and it is cheap. But the flavour I was getting off it worked.
Me personally, obviously, I review quite a lot of pod systems and starter kits. It was something that I aimed to do. The other, if you go then to the spin, Spin It, which is again another Vaptio product. See, with Vaptio, you're either going to get a decent product or it's just going to be cheap and not that good.
Yep.
I thought the Solo Flat was just, it felt tacky, it felt cheap. I ended up getting a mouthful of juice. I didn't really like it that much myself. That's just my opinion, obviously. But then if you go to something like the Spin It, really good little device. And it's very good for somebody who's, like working, who doesn't want to get the mouthpiece, if they're a builder or something. You can do that, just keep it in there, and then when you want to vape, you just click it back over. Lot better made, and it's roughly around about the same price.
Yeah, and the other one I liked was their F2, the Solo F2.
F2 were really good. I like the F2.
I mean, for a pen-style device, it completely pissed all over the smock pens.
Oh, easy. Totally agree with you.
Completely pissed over them.
Also, the C2. Did you ever use the C2?
No.
C2 is a lot better than them, and the only thing again with the F2 and also with the is it again the Solo 2, I think it is that they're actually an inbuilt tank.
Yeah.
So you can't take the tanks off, can you? Where the C2, you can take their tank off, which is a really good tank, and you can just use it whatever you want on top of it. I think it roughly about a 50 watt. That is really good.
Yeah.
Nice.
What's up, Stephen Whitlock? How you doing, fella? I must admit that what's it called, the UPSI or OPS 1, for me it was absolute cack.
Now
the mouth to lung pod was too tight a draw for me, and I found the flavour non-existent. The direct to lung pod, I found that more of a loose mouth to lung draw. And again, the flavour was next to non-existent.
Have you tried the UPSI, Nick? Or
yeah, I'm still in the process of doing the mouth to lung coil, and I will then do the direct to lung coil, and then I'm gonna give obviously my final thoughts on it. And so far, it's been pretty good. I mean, I really like the fact that it's so durable and sturdy. The magnet's really good on it.
Build quality is shit hot on it. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
It reminds me of a toy car. You know that feel of it, like a little toy car.
Yeah.
I like the way it's in your hand, because sometimes you cover the hole. It's a little bit awkward of holding. I feel.
With the top button.
Think it's more. Yeah, it's that side sort of button. I also feel that it is built for higher nicotine in there, or nic salts, to maybe get that flavour coming through to you as well.
Yeah.
I haven't had obviously it's a pod system. It's not the best pod system out there, and I don't. It's an average flavour on it. It's not notes to write home about, but I've had a lot worse.
Yeah, it's a pod system that should have been made by Tonka.
Yeah, but it is durable.
You got to give it that. I mean, it's probably more durable than any toy car that I ever had as a kid, because I used to crush those things, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah. But do you know what the price is?
What is it? I don't even know.
I think it's roughly around about £39, if I'm right. I'm going to have a little look.
That's a little bit much.
Yeah, that was the other bit that I thought it was. The last time I checked, I'm enough certain it was £39, I think it was. It's the Joy Smoke, in it, or something.
Smock Joy.
Smock Joy, that's it, yeah. I don't think Jay's joining us. Do you think he's fell asleep, or?
Nah, that's what I think, yeah. I was talking to him yesterday. He seemed fine, but maybe he just fell ill.
Which obviously, yeah, from Eco Vape, obviously they're the people who sent it us, $34.99.
It's a little pricey. What do the replacement pods go for?
Well, if you think about it, what's that in dollars? About $40.
What, 35 pounds? It's like $45, yeah. It's a little bit pricey. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it's $45 good. I would say it's $35 good, but if they're doing dollar for pound, well, probably not, because it's a UK product, right? Like, I haven't even seen that much over in the US at all.
There has been a number of US reviewers who have done it.
Oh, maybe I haven't been paying attention then.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah,
There's too many
sure.
freaking pod systems, man. There's way too many pod systems. I get so many emails for pod systems, it is not even funny. And they're so persistent too. I'm like, yeah, I'm not really taking on any more pod systems right now because I just don't have the time. If I reviewed every single pod system, my entire channel would be nothing but pod systems for a month or two straight.
Yep. So, Rob Barry, yes, you will like the Dreamer. It is a good purchase. Cheap mech and performs great.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of mechs, Mike, do you have anything for us this week for Mike's Mech Minute?
No, I haven't had a chance to do anything.
God damn it. Daily Pod TV, says Josh Warner. That's right. I'm telling you, I could start a whole other channel just for pod systems. It's ridiculous. Like, and I wish I was kidding. Like, I wish I were kidding because, you know, that just seems extreme. But
this year does seem to be the year of the pods.
I could literally start an entire separate channel just for pod systems, pod system reviews, pod reviews, flavor reviews. I could do a whole other channel.
Well, it's like when we were all at Expo. That's exactly what we're there, though, wasn't it? And it does go back to what you were saying roughly about 10 minutes ago, which is the new vapors. We are like hobbyists. We're looking for something a little bit different. These pod systems, in my eyes, are really, really good for the new vapor.
But, okay, so the difference, though, between the UK and the US, you guys have limitations on the amount of nicotine that you can use. You have 20 milligram. Over here, we have, like, 50, and in some cases, 60. Like, 60 milligram is a lot of nicotine. You would literally have to take, like, 2 puffs, and you get the equivalent nicotine of, like, a cigarette. So it's like, is it good for new vapors? Like, are they going to get more nicotine from a pod system than they ever would from a cigarette, you know? And that's my concern. Like, I don't understand why the US market can't accept a lower milligram, you know, at least have the option of lowering it down to, say, 15 or something like that. Even Juul is coming out with a lower milligram in the States. They have 50, and now I think they're going to be doing 30, 20 or 30, I can't remember which, but they're going to be coming out with that step down because people are saying that, you know, Juul, it's just one level of nicotine and there's no way to step down, there's no way to quit from it because they're going to be just stuck with that amount of nicotine and their body's going to just crave that amount of nicotine. So I just really wish there was a step down from the high levels. I personally can't even do like a 35 milligram. Like 25 milligram is okay. I mean, even in this pod right here, this is 50 milligram. Too much, man. I could take about 2-3 puffs on it and then I just put it down and just wait 15-20 minutes because I just can't even vape on it that much. But in this pod here, I have 18 milligram and it's perfect for me. I really do like the next level down from the 25s, the 35s, and all that. You know, I just wish that more American companies would realize that not everyone needs that amount of nicotine. You know, there is such a thing as a half a pack a day smoker or less. You know, and to get those people off, you need that lower level because not everyone's going to want to vape it like
obviously
they do.
With the Nick salts coming out, do you think that's changed the ball game as well? Because obviously it's a little bit smoother.
It's a little bit smoother, but still, even with 50 milligram, man, it still kind of makes me cough sometimes. You know, certain flavors will make me cough. I don't know. I started off personally with freebase nicotine in 18 milligram. That's where I started from when I quit smoking. And I was about half a pack to a pack a day smoker. And coming off onto 18 with that amount of throat hit with freebase nicotine, it was like just on point. Then I pretty quickly lowered my level down to 12. And then after that, you know, it took about a year before I went down to 6. I was on 6 for a year before I went down to 3. And I've been at 3 milligram ever since. And I don't plan on quitting nicotine. But with that, you know, now you have the pod systems at, you know, 35, 45, 50, 60 milligram. That is too much, man. That's way too much nicotine.
Mike, what sort of nicotine levels are you at?
Sometimes 1.5, most of the time 3. I mean, when I first started vaping, I was sub-ohming on 36 milligram.
See, I'm all over the place. I can do 0 quite often, quite happily all the time. Doesn't really bother me. The only time I start getting it is when I go out for a drink. And then just lately with the new Nick salts and stuff coming out, I have gone a little bit higher, and I have been enjoying that little bit more of a Nick push on it. But I can go to 3, 6, 8. Just mix it around a lot, I do.
Yep.
If I'm having a beer, that's the biggest thing for me, and it always has been. I was only something like a 10 a day smoker. Or if I went out for a beer, went out with the lads, then I'd probably do a 20 pack. But if not, then it would just literally 10 a day, and I might have 2 or 3 left.
Yeah. See,
I wasn't a massive smoker until I started drinking.
Now, see, I used to smoke on average 60 a day.
Jesus. No wonder you look like you're 80.
Yeah.
Right fucking there.
So was that roll-ups or actually packs of fags?
No, that was packs of fags.
Jesus.
Damn, you spent a fortune on them then.
Yeah, it was usually about close to £30 a day I was doing.
You must have had a phlegm farm.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, that's the bit I love about vaping. You don't get this like horrible cough. You know that when you used to lay in bed and all of a sudden you get that cough that you just couldn't get rid of.
Yep.
And you couldn't get rid of it, and then you think, "Oh, what's that?"
Yep.
I don't get any of that.
It's
Yep,
that, and it like, you know what? To be honest though, like even like with the Nick salts, sometimes I get that sort of like wheezy sort of feeling. I feel like I'm wheezing a little bit, and I don't know what that's from exactly, but I don't really like it. That's why I don't do Nick salts all the time. I don't know how Jay does it, but I wish he were here to explain. But
Yep.
As far as I'm concerned, it's too
as you
much.
know, I can't do Nick salts at all.
Yeah, well, they put you off.
I think that's a great point that you've just brought up there, Nick, and I'd like to go on a bit further about it. Sometimes, I don't know if you've had it yourself, I had it with cigarettes where, you know, if you've been out for a really good night out and you've had a right good beer and you used to smoke a hell of a lot, and then in the morning you was a little bit, I can feel that's a little bit tight.
Yep.
I have had that with vaping, where if I've been out and I've been vaping, proper vaping, really chain vaping, I've still had a little bit of a feel of that, thinking, I haven't had that for a while, a little bit tight.
You know what it is? Sorry, go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I'd finish you. Go on.
So I think that has to do with the dehydration factor, because for me, Nick salts really just dry me out. You know, I feel dehydrated whenever I vape Nick salts. And the same is true, especially if you're drinking. Alcohol dehydrates you. So you really, really, really have to stay on top of hydration if you are a regular Nick salt user. And if you're also a drinker, that kind of doubles that factor, you know? You have to pretty much drink double the water. But yeah, I get that too, especially when I'm drinking. And I mean, when I was drinking, I would smoke way more as well. You know, I'd end up at a pack and a half, you know? Halfway through the night, I'd be walking to a store to get a pack of cigarettes. And that was when I knew I had a big problem, because I was like, wow, you know, I would just be outside more than I would be inside and just puffing away on cigarettes. And it doesn't feel like you're smoking a lot, but you know, when your friend goes out, time, well, let's go, you know, everyone leaves and goes outside and does the thing. And by the time, you know, the end of the night comes around, you wake up the next morning, you're like, oh my God, did I really smoke a pack and a half yesterday, or 2 packs? It's like, it could get out of hand really quickly.
Yeah, especially when you're having a beer. It's one of the biggest things. I think a lot of people will be the same as us. When you're drinking, it's just that. I don't know. But it is nice. Obviously, my local working men's club, we're still allowed to vape in there. And I've spoken to a number of vapers who I've got onto vaping, and they've obviously moved on further forward, and they've got like big tanks and stuff. I've had them to sit side and said to them, look, as well, vaping etiquette, you've got to start blowing it down to the floor. Try not to bring out massive devices, and if you are, then you're gonna have to go outside, because one pub that's just close to it, you stop vaping because people have just done clouds.
Well, that's the thing, is this is why we can't have nice things. because people take advantage of it. You know, if you say, all right, guys, you know, you can vape in my restaurant, but you have to keep it really light. You can do
Yeah.
mouth to lung and try to stealth as much as you possibly can, but I'll let you vape in here if you behave. And then next thing you know, word gets out, oh, they let you vape in there. And people come in, and then all of a sudden you get some people doing sub-ohm and starting to blow some bigger clouds and not quite stealthing, and then it just gets blown way out of proportion, and the owner would have to just be like, all right, no vaping. Sorry, you ruined it. You know?
So to be honest, in food places, I don't believe vaping should be allowed.
No, I agree.
I mean, when I used to smoke, I absolutely hated people smoking around me when I was eating.
Right. And I mean,
it was to the point where if someone lit a fag up around me and I was eating a McDonald's or something, I would whack that fag out of their mouth.
I was just using that as an example, but it
yeah,
could be true with a pub or whatever. So, no, I agree. But some people, I mean, in America, I remember growing up as a kid, there was a smoking section and a non-smoking section in restaurants.
Yep.
And I remember the distinct smell in the air, you know. I mean, it wasn't really separated. It wasn't a separate room or anything. It was just like, here is the smoking, here's the non-smoking. And like my parents always tried to get us as far away from that as they could, but sometimes there was no helping it. You know, if it was a busy night or something, and you have people smoking in the restaurant, it just wafts its way over.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's one of the things. They used to have that sign, didn't they? Smoking and non-smoking.
Yep.
It was just like the smoke could waft from one side and see the actual sign and go, "Whoa, can't go any further. I just can't go any further." You know what I mean? The sign sort of made it stop. You're totally right. We had it here in the UK. It were a thing. 80s and 90s, you could get away with that. But no, I'm with, obviously you were using it just as how it works. But yeah, I'd never do it in a restaurant. You go outside. What's your thought on vaping around children?
Don't agree with it.
I would say no. I mean, yes, I realize there are no effects. There's no such thing as secondhand vapor, like there is secondhand smoke. But I think it's just the visual aspect of it. You know, it's basically like making it normalized. You know, this is what mommy and daddy do. That means that I can do it when I grow up too. You know, or even as a younger person, getting their hands on things illegally. And that's, I mean, I feel like a lot of the time it's the same case with smoking as well. You know, if someone's parents smoke, then they start younger. Because my parents never smoked, and I only started smoking when I was like 16, which is still young, but my friend had been smoking since he was about 10 years old, and habitually since he was about 13. And both of his parents smoked. He just was able to steal them whenever he wanted and go up to his room and light one up. The whole house smelled anyways, so.
Philip's come up with one. They've been talking lately about allowing you vape on trains and buses again. So on public transport, effectively. My view on that would be on trains, if they have like a set car for people to go and vape in, so you're away from the non-vapors. Yeah, that would be no problem at all. With regard to buses, like when we used to be able to smoke on a bus, the smokers had to go to the top deck. Again, that with the aircon systems and that are on the buses now, not a problem, because it's not going to affect the people sitting downstairs. But on the single decker buses, no, it shouldn't be allowed.
It could also be distracting to the driver too. I mean, if there's enough people doing it, you know, could be very dangerous. So I agree with you there. And I mean, is that going to happen though? Once you say yes, vaping is allowed on a train and you have to be in the very back car or whatever, like how many people are going to follow that if that car is completely packed? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like some people would still try to do it in other cars. So it's ruining a good thing, you know? How many people are going to take advantage of that and use it, you know, in a negative way? So Ken actually brings up a good point. He says, I drive for Uber and Lyft. I don't allow smoking, but I do allow vaping. And you know, if I was in that same situation, if I was driving for Uber or Lyft, I would allow vaping as long as they, you know, crack the window a little bit. And I mean, in the middle of winter when it's freezing cold and all that, like I would still make them crack the window because it can be a big distraction, especially if
Yep.
they're blowing clouds like I do.
Yep.
Um,
But
However,
again,
I wouldn't do it myself.
yeah. But also in Ken's situation, he's driving for Uber and Lyft, but he's having to use his own car. So Ken can make the rules.
Right, and that's how Uber and Lyft, you know, work. So I've been in cars before where they allow me to vape. I've been in cars before where they don't. I'm fine with whatever their rules are. I'm not gonna try to like
See, I
just.
don't think they can actually do that here in the UK, you see, because it's classed as, even whether if he's self-employed or whether he isn't, it's still classed as a place of work. See, in England, if you're actually working, you're not allowed to vape or you're not allowed, definitely not to smoke, are you? In a
But
car.
what about other people?
Yeah, but it's still in that work environment. I think there'd be something to be said about that. I think.
It's one of those grey areas.
Yeah.
Because if you're self-employed and you're driving in your own personal vehicle, then
It's still classed as a workplace, isn't it?
But how are they gonna enforce anything like that though? That's the thing. Is
Yeah.
you see two people in a car and they're vaping and they're not gonna go, I think that's an Uber driver, you know. But
No,
I understand your point. I understand your point.
Yeah, it's one of the things where you're not allowed. They're even saying now there were, I think it was about 6-7 months ago, about people actually vaping in the car if they're blowing clouds. Is it it's obstructing vision and stuff like that? You could get pulled over. That were another scaremongering tactic, wasn't it? About 6-7 months back.
Well, that's the same thing with my state. I believe they did pass the law where if you are smoking in a car with an underage person, whether it be your kid or someone else's kid, then you can actually get a ticket for it.
Yes.
But I don't think there's any real enforcement of that at this point. I don't think anyone's, well, I'm sure maybe a handful, but I don't think it's a regular thing to pull people over with. You know, it's just like you would have to be a very observant police officer if you were to notice that sort of thing. Just like out there with binoculars, like, aha!
Here's an Uber driver with a 13-year-old child vaping.
Got him.
Got him. That's a ticket right there. I know we're jumping topics quite a little bit, and I know you hate to do that, but just on the same run as we've been talking about, did anybody see again, roughly about 8 months ago, about Russia bringing into a thing that any children after, I think it was 2020 something, it's going to be illegal for them to smoke?
Yep.
What?
So anybody who's born after 2025, just say, don't hold me to that. It will be illegal for that generation to actually smoke.
Yep.
See, I'm on the fence about this because in one sense, you know, you're taking away a freedom. You know, you as a human being should have the freedom to choose whether or not you want to smoke. I mean, same goes with vaping. You should be able to choose whether you want to vape because they could just as easily lump vaping in with smoking and go, okay, yeah, after this generation, no more smoking. It's like, okay. Oh, look who it is.
It's like we just, you know them anonymous people who turn up. We have been watching you. This is the last time you will be able to do this.
All right, now we can start the show. Jay, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Ah, there he is.
Oh, look, I've got all that in the background. Sorry. Try and move that.
What?
My cheeky little plug.
You can advertise.
Oh, mate. My rig is just not working again. I've had to do it on my phone and an iPad. And...
Robo J.
Yeah, you sound like you're going through a meat grinder or something.
One sec. Let me just check. I might drop out. I don't know.
Say one thing. We will exterminate.
We will exterminate.
And he's frozen.
It's the salty Dalek.
There he is.
Is it really that bad?
Your audio is pretty bad, yeah.
Yeah, you sound like Davros.
Who?
Davros.
Flatly.
Oh my god.
It's all the Nick salts. That's his actual voice now.
Here you go, kids. Stay away from the Nick Salts.
How did he sound perfect in Spain, and yet
Yeah.
he's struggling now?
Well, he's on Essex internet now.
Nick, you know, like with the lighting that he's got, and then obviously the bits that are behind him, it looks like he's in a seedy strip club, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Oh my god.
It looks like he's taking money on the counter, innit? Don't touch the girls, but you can watch.
All right. He just sounded good for a second. He's messing about. See, this is the problem. He always messes about with stuff.
Jay's all wibbly wobbly. Vaping with Ken.
Wibbly wobbly. I don't think he's seen the thumbnail.
UK Andy? No.
Probably not.
Man, if I had a little bit more time, I would have been able to do the little symbol.
Stop.
I can't hear you. You're muted. There
Hello.
You go. There you go.
There we
He's
go.
here, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, Jay, I had something to show you, actually.
Not on the live stream.
Have you seen this?
Oh, no. Yeah. How does it, like, what is it that takes the different pods?
So it's literally just a connection like that. Oh, that's a bottle of juice, not a pod. And you take your pod and you just pop it in. It's got a little rubber holder. Job done. It's kind of nice, except this pod looks ridiculous on there because it sticks way out.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Badger strip joint.
Now wait, is it a strip joint for badgers, or is it just his strip joint? Never mind. There's your Photoshop.
Like a cold.
Kinky badger e-juice.
So for you guys, I've just got to do the plug now then. For you guys that don't know, this is a new juice week at the London Vape Show. 3 flavors, all candy sherbet flavors. So yeah.
Again, if you've not got over to the Facebook page, make sure you get over to his Facebook page, give it a like and give it a share.
Oh yeah. Cheers. Do you want a job? I need a secretary.
I'm trying to help you, bro.
Mate, I was up till 5 o'clock this morning. It was Laura's birthday party last night.
Ah, that's right.
Oh my god.
Hashtag Jay's hangover.
And I broke my Nautilus 2 glass. So now I'm looking an X30 Rover
Yeah, the thing looks pretty cool.
with a Nautilus X tank on there. And I don't like the Nautilus X tank more than I like the Nautilus 2 tank.
But we were talking about Nick salts and how they dry you out. So and also drinking dries you out too. So I wanted to get Jay's thoughts on that, to be honest.
Drink plenty of fluids, you'll be all right.
Cheers.
Here's a hand hint from Jay.
Yeah. Jay's helpful hints.
I do get a dry mouth, I ain't gonna lie, but vaping does that in general. Okay, salts do it a little bit more than normal, but just drink plenty.
Uh-oh.
Street sleeper. Does kinky vapor e-juice double up as lube?
Well, if it's a short fill 0 milligram. Wait, no.
Top
Do you
10.
want to? Do you want to give? Do you want to give it away, Jay? I know what you're talking about, but no, he's gonna have to find out what's on the label.
What's on the what?
On the label.
Oh, on the label. Yeah. I can see a few bits, so this is the menu.
Ooh.
So that's the menu card. Anyway, like, I'm coming in hijacking the show. We're here for South.
Oh, mate, you're more than welcome.
Well, you already talked about what you're vaping on.
Yeah, so Nick Salt, peachy, apricot pineapple, apricot peach, very nice, and Nautilus X. Nautilus X and the NX30 Aspire. So this is the X30 Rover kit, but the mod on its own you can buy separately. That's the NX30 mod, and then that's a Nautilus tank on top.
Are the old 70-30 your juices then, Jay?
No. Why would they be when they're kinky?
Oh.
Oh.
That's a hint for you.
That means the 50-50 they're going to give me the shits.
Yeah, again.
Does anybody else have that PG thing? It makes me have bellyache sometimes if it's like 50-50.
No, not really the 50-50 or 70-30. For me, it's like the ridiculously sweet flavors will give me heartburn.
Yeah.
Did I submit my bottle design? Are they doing one of them packaging thing? Oh, I might do that.
Oh,
69 and 31 because they're kinky.
That's right. Exactly. Spot on.
How did they get that? Is it on your Facebook page?
Is it on your page?
I haven't put anything up there yet.
Oh. They just guessed then.
They are 69.31.
Oh, God. Jonathan and Owen says, look in the memes group, Jay.
I can't yet because I haven't got my PC on. I'm using a phone and an iPad for the chat. So
yeah, the Fantasy Ice gives me a bit of an headache as well sometimes with the freeze on it.
Oh man, well I do get kind of like the ice cream headache sort of feeling whenever I vape like heavy menthols, which is really funny. Or frozen throat, yeah, you get like that feeling.
Yeah, brain freeze.
Brain freeze, yeah.
I remember when my youngest daughter first ever did that, you know, with ice cream. And she just looked at me like she didn't know what we were going off, just holding her head. What's happening? What? You know what I mean? Ice cream headaches are just the worst.
There's actually a cure for it, you know?
Oh, yeah?
What's that?
Yeah. Don't eat so quick. No, there is actually. So you can, if you rub your tongue at the roof of your mouth, it warms up the cold area and it gets rid of it quicker. Fun fact.
Fun fact.
Fun fact.
Jay's fun fact of the week.
Do you know what? We want to make that a segment.
Yeah.
Every week, Jay's fun fact of the week.
Well, it wants the fun, but well, I suppose it's more fun than having brain freeze, I suppose.
Did that killed?
Yeah, but if all right, so 9 times out of 10, the only time I get a brain freeze is when I'm drinking a slush puppy too fast. So I'm not going to drink warm water to counteract that. I'm drinking a slush puppy because I'm fucking red hot and I like the coldness. So yeah.
It's like when people say drink a cup of tea when you're hot, it makes your body temperature go down. It just makes me warmer.
Fuck, man, that's craziness. That's just the most like crazy shit I've ever heard. Dandemir says you can also eat warm ice cream.
Yeah. Warm ice cream?
So that would just be melting cream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Let's see. So, speaking of segments, we've been doing a poll this week, and I wanted to get everyone's thoughts on how you vape, what style you vape, whether it be direct to lung or mouth to lung. And the results are in. So we have. Oh, you're drum rolling. Okay. So 18% of people do mouth to lung vaping, and 82% of people are direct to lung vaping. So, and that was out of 131 votes. So make sure you guys pay attention to our Facebook page. That's where we're going to post these polls every week, and usually it'll be on a Wednesday.
Yeah, that 18% for the mouth to lung was Jason with all his different profiles.
Yeah, exactly. But I thought that was interesting because, you know, there is still a percentage of people out there that do mouth to lung vape, like on a regular basis. And I think that's, I actually want to get people's opinions on whether or not they think that mouth to lung vaping and nic salts kind of go hand in hand, or whether or not they still mouth to lung vape freebase nicotines. Because I think there's a big difference between the two of them. I mean, when I first started, there was no nic salts, so I was mouth to lung vaping 18 milligram freebase nicotine. So I figured that most of the people would be direct to lung vapors, and I mean, obviously the results show that. But it just kind of gives you a sense that there's still a pretty significant percentage of people that vape mouth to lung.
I think it's coming back more, especially this last 6 months, or maybe a bit more. There's more tanks coming out, RDAs, sort of mouth to lung stuff. I think a lot more people are coming back to the mouth to lung thing, like the swanking come back in. I think mouth to lungs sort of making a comeback.
Yeah. In all honesty, what I think has helped that is nic salts. Like, if I wouldn't be like mouth to lunging if it was still freebase and there was no nic salts out there. Damn right, I would not be. So I think the nic salts has played a very, very big crucial part in that, because you can get a 20 milligram that's as smooth as a 3 milligram, and it gives you that nic hit, that high, so to speak. So yeah, SN vaping. My juice line is launching next week at the London Vape Show, so it'll be available after next Saturday. I'll holler at you. Hello.
I mean, I feel like there's still a percentage of people that vape freebase nicotine mouth to lung, though. It's small, but they're the true old school vapors, like just never even bothered with sub-ohm vaping to begin with, just completely nothing but mouth to lung since they first started. They still vape 18, 24 milligram, and they just don't have any sort of plan to ever reduce the amount of nicotine or quit vaping or even change the way they vape, which is totally fine. You know, there's nothing wrong with that, but I just think it's interesting to see because the market really draws from the direct to lung crowd, the people that go through 100 mils of juice a week and the people that go through a pack of coils in a couple of weeks, you know? Whereas the mouth to lung vapors are really the ones that are saving themselves a lot of money in the long run.
Yeah, and also, if you notice, some of them old school vapors that have never tried sub-ohming, they're still like on the like C4, C5 tanks, or the Aspire K1 sort of BVC, sort of really tiny mouth to lung.
The original Nautilus.
Yeah, well, that's what my father's on. You see, when my mum passed away, and I always said this, he was down to a smoking and also dodgy fags as well, I think it was down to. But my dad, as soon as he passed away, he went on to vaping, and he smoked all his life. He were on the roll-ups, and he's still got 2 Nautilus, the original Nautilus tanks with the, is it 5 or 6 mil they were? He still has the same coils, and he's on the hang sense shit, you know what I mean? And he mixes the Energy Cow and the Virginia blend. He mixes them together. I think they're roughly about 18. He mixes them together. And that's what he vapes. And the thing is, if that keeps you off the stinkies, it's perfect for them.
Yeah,
and that's the whole point of it, isn't it?
Mike's amusing himself somehow.
Oh no!
There's a budget, you know.
It's always a fun night. at Kinky's. It's always a fun night at Kinky's. Badger Strip Club. There you go.
Jonathan Redmond, you're totally right, mate. A nice menthol mouth to lung is very cleansing on the old palate. I'm on it now.
Yeah. I remember them. I've still got one of them original Nautilus glasses here somewhere. Tanks. Like the thread was actually on the top of the glass, wasn't it?
Yep. The glass itself was threaded. That was crazy.
Yeah. And it was like domed, and you've got no way of replacing that shit with anything compatible.
They did have the metal tank version, which was nice.
With the Kenny style cut outy.
Yep.
Look shit, but yeah.
And my local shop still sells them.
And I've been seeing a few people in chat. Ian Morgan says he vapes both all day, 18 milligram and 6 milligram. And I feel like there's an even smaller percentage of people that still do both like that. I mean, for me, I feel like a lot of people are like me where they do the pods from time to time, but most of the time they're sub-ohming, you know, like 90% of the time. What's that?
You're always on a pod. A coffee and a pod.
No. I'm mostly on, you know, sub-ohm tank or dripper or RTA, and then I've also got my pods as like a backup, you know. I'll just always just kind of have a pod system around because it's kind of like my security blanket where I'm just like, you know, clutching it. I'm just like, this keeps me safe.
I still actually sub-ohm. I still drip on a daily basis. I don't believe you. I swear to God, I've got a setup right here right now.
Well, yeah, you still use your Ali Mongrel, right?
Yeah, on a daily basis, and I use my 80-watt pulse with a recurve on. Probably not so much daily on that, but I'll use that weekly. I use my Dreamer weekly.
And do you guys think that certain flavors taste better out of a certain type of setup?
Yeah, I wouldn't like if I was gonna do anything cool harder or menthol. I'd like to mouth to lung that.
No, fuck that, drip that shit.
Mike.
Yeah, I like it.
I feel like desserty flavors and custards and stuff like that taste really good on a hot build.
Yeah.
I'm not a custard sort of man. I've never been into these like savoury vapes. I don't mind them now and again. It was like me and Jay were talking about the other week. That the one where the custard company and jamming got together. That were really nice. I couldn't vape that all week. I'm more of a fruity type of a vapor. But since these pod systems have been coming out, like when we in October, I've been really enjoying them. Especially when you sat down at a computer, just say you've done a review. It's quite nice and easy to do it. Now, when I'm dripping, it's quite nice if you're watching television to keep doing that. But to me, it's not practical to go out and keep having to take your bottle out and drip. And the pod systems are quite comfortable, and your tanks are quite comfortable.
I was saying that last week. It's not practical enough. Like, who was I saying it to? I said it to someone. It might have been in the stew. What's it? Zoom room, whatever it was. I can't remember now. But yeah.
The Discord.
Discord, that's the one. Dandemir, IMTL 20 milligram Nick salts throughout most of the day. Thank Jay for that. And sub-ohm here and there if I want some flavour.
You're a bad influence.
Yeah.
I'm giving people information. I like to get
salts. No? Just fucking drip that fucking, what do you call it? Black Widow.
What's that?
Blow elixirs, Black Widow.
Oh no.
Is that
nice 0.11 build.
Is that a black currant?
It's a black currant menthol.
I'd do it.
It basically tastes like the black currant tunes.
Obviously, if anybody is building that in, you're not experienced, please make sure you've got battery safety and everything else in them bombs.
Yeah, 0.11 safe on a VTC5A.
Barely.
That is a pretty low. Into 1.1 is pretty low.
Yeah, no, it doesn't blow me head off, Matt.
I mean, I can do it. I do menthol on my grip mod with a 0.1 in there. I've been doing the Ice Age line from 12 Monkeys.
Yep.
But yeah,
pretty damn good.
battery. Cool.
Yeah, VTC 5A. And I've also got the 30T Samsung, which are 35 amps. Pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, always remember battery safety. I mean, I feel like every now and again we have to remind people of that.
Yep.
But I feel like there's kind of this middle ground, right? You have probably the lower percentage being mouth to lung only. Then you have the little bit of crossover where they mouth to lung and direct to lung. Then you have your, I'd say probably the majority of people do like a sub-ohm tank on a regular basis. And then you have a small percentage of people that are like straight up cloud chasers, nothing but, high wattage or mechanical mods with, cloud chasing sort of builds in them. But everyone feels like whatever niche they may fall into, they feel like that is the way to vape. You know what I'm saying? And they just like have a hard time accepting the fact that there's other ways to vape out there. There's other people out there that vape differently than the way you vape. And, everyone's different, and that's the beauty of vaping.
Yep. Grumpy Old Vapor, yes, I have used RTAs on mech tubes. The main one I used to use was the Kylin, and I quite regularly used to put that on a mech tube, and I would put around about a 0.15 to 0.18 build in it. You don't want to go too low in an RTA.
Yeah, seriously.
One of the things, whenever you're with a mech, you've got to make sure that you know your ohms law. It's just
Yep. And the other thing,
people think they can just whack things on top of a mech and you're off.
Yep. And the other thing with the RTAs is make sure that the bloody pin is sticking out the bottom enough.
Oh yes.
Not all RTAs have got a protruding 510.
Like triple check that.
Yeah.
Yep. But the Kylin is mech safe.
And the Juggernaut from QP Design is another one that has a protruding 510 pin. But yeah, seriously, that can't be stressed enough. I mean, almost more than battery safety.
Yep. And as Dire Thing says, also make sure it's not a floating pin.
Mm-hmm.
Simon Davis says, thinking of getting is that a squid detonator?
Yeah. Squid Industries detonator.
Anybody recommend it?
Squid detonator. Yes. That sounds just wrong.
I've not actually used one, but they are supposed to be pretty good. The only thing I would say, watch out for the actual switch on it, because the switch design, if the mod is dropped, it's going to be quite easy to break that switch.
Wow, a squid detonator. It sounds like an inky vapor to me.
Squid incubator.
Wow.
I've been waiting to a masturbator.
Wow.
That was the Jill Coil, Kylin.
That was the joke of the week.
Jay's cheesy joke of the week. TNT calamari. Quite literally a taste explosion. There's another good Photoshop for you guys. Oh my god.
You've got to pull the calamari ring.
Yeah, imagine you could blow calamari rings when you are using the squid detonator. Yeah, I like the detonator. Looks kind of cool. It looks funky, but I don't know. It doesn't seem very practical.
I personally can't remember. Is it a single or dual battery?
I don't remember. Probably a dual. I don't think. Man, now I haven't even really looked into it that much. I've seen pictures of it on Instagram and whatnot, and yeah, it looks kind of cool. I wouldn't take it to an airport, but
no, definitely not.
Because it looks a little bit suspicious.
Yeah, it's not as bad as that other mod that looks like the detonator, though, is it?
Yeah, mods to not bring to airports.
Yeah.
The Anakin, what was that one? Cool Fire.
Cool Fire 2, was it?
Yeah, Cool Fire 2. The Mag mod.
Like a hand grenade.
The Mag mod. There was one from Flawless called the Gripper, which was literally just a pistol grip handle from an AR.
Mag Mini.
Yeah.
What was that one? You probably might have said it. What was that one that looked like a knuckle duster?
Oh, gang mod.
Gang mods.
Yeah. Don't bring that.
Taking that way.
Jeez. Why is there so many mods that look really, really bad?
I don't understand why they come out with them, because obviously that's aimed at a certain set of groups, isn't it? To be walking around with somebody a knuckle duster on it.
Yep. I mean, to get the knuckle duster one, they actually done a spiked one as well.
Yeah, I've seen that. There's one that looks like an actual, like a real detonator. Like,
yeah.
I think it's made from an actual detonator. That one.
What is it? Yeah. What is that? The M256?
I don't know.
Or 26, something like that.
Yeah.
I know it's an M something or other.
Yeah, don't bring that one.
No, you bring that one out onto the streets, you'll probably get fucking SWAT after you.
Right.
Just a question from me to you lads. You know when you've got an inbuilt battery on a mod? You know, like when you get a brand new phone, you need to charge it for quite a while to actually get the charge on it.
Mm.
You know, sometimes you get them and you turn them on and they're green, and you're like, oh, I can use this straight away. Would you still charge it for that little extra bit of time to get like a memory on the battery, or is it ready to go straight away?
Me personally, I would give it the extra bit of charge.
I don't. I let it drain and then fully cycle the charge.
I'm going to say I would just let it drain, because most batteries nowadays don't have any sort of memory effect. It's really not going to be affecting it at all.
And I think it would have been fully charged when it was put in there, I suppose, if it's green already. So just let it drain, then start the charge cycle. But when I do let it charge so it's fully charged. Don't like think, oh, 80%, I've got to go out. No, that ain't going to work.
I mean,
DC Rackley, it's because its mods are made for adults, not kids. Completely agree with what you're saying there, mate. But obviously, making them into a sort of a weapon doesn't look very good on sort of like vaping, really. In my mind, it's not like a set of cigarettes come with a set of nunchucks, is it? That's what I was going to say.
That would be cool.
Yeah, you get a
free
Marlboro with a set of nunchucks.
That would be so random. But no, the nunchucks are actually like a lighter, so it's like.
Woodtick Mike says the detonator is a single 21700.
Oh, it's a little disappointing. I mean, I don't know. Single battery mods for me just do not last at all. I mean, the way I vape.
4,000 mod, though, isn't it?
What's
21,700 on its own. Is it? Is that 2,000 mar, isn't it?
The 30Ts. Oh, these aren't even the 30Ts. Oh, boo.
21,700 is a 4,000 mar, so that's still not bad.
It claims 4,000. Realistically, it's probably no more than 3,500. Let's face it.
STE Nichols, that was Asmodus.
Smelling knives and stabwood. Yeah, but STE Nichols, that's also a separate hobby. You know, I have a friend of mine that's a knife collector, and it goes kind of hand in hand with like the whole stabwood thing, because a lot of people that are into stabwood are into other things made out of stabwood, knives and pens and like just, you know, whatever. Same is true with Damascus steel.
It's a bit ironic. Stabwood knives.
Stabilized wood. Okay. No, but same was true with Damascus steel. You know, they make knives from Damascus steel, as well as, you know, a bunch of other things. So people that are into like something for its looks are into other things for its looks. So it's not necessarily, you know, you're collecting this mod for the actual function of it. Most of the time it's literally just a collector's item, and they just kind of put it on their shelf with all their other stabwood items, you know. Was it a bad move? I don't know. It's an adult event, and, you know, I don't think they were selling them. If they were selling them, then that might have been a little bit...
They were just displaying them at the expo.
Yeah, okay. So, I mean, if they're just for display, then, yeah, it's just kind of a thing.
They do sell them on the website, though.
Oh, poo. Well, all right. You get points off for that.
you spend a lot of time, obviously, on Instagram. It's not one of the forms that I spend a hell of a lot of time on. I do push a bit on there. But it was a big thing. I don't know if they're still doing it now, where they were putting mods with guns and knives, weren't they? A lot were putting on there. Are they still doing that now, or is it faded away?
Well, that's just America.
America.
I mean, it's, guns are a big thing over here. And, people that own guns want to show them off, just like they want to show off their mods. So if you have a sweet, AR, you put your mod on top of it. It looks cool, it looks badass, and you take a picture, and, that's just the thing you do. Or like the everyday carry, right? That's a big thing, the EDC, everyday carry. So people, like, take all of their stuff out of their pockets and put it out on the table and take a picture of it. And, some people have like a knife on them, a gun, their phone, their wallet, and their mod. So just like that's what they're carrying today,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a thing over here.
My wife does that. She's loads of shit in her purse.
Well, it's more kind of for the sort of tactically minded people, I suppose. You get a lot of people that have like the paracord, like emergency kits and stuff like that, where it's all like wrapped up in paracord, and you get the people that are like all tactical. They have the cool wallet that's like a money clip thing that's got the built-in screwdriver and pocket knife, and yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the type of person that typically does that sort of thing. If I were to do it, then you would see chapstick, a beard comb.
I love it when you do that as well with beard comb.
My phone, my wallet, which is filled with receipts and business cards and everything else. I'm actually thinking about switching over to a billfold pretty soon, because I just can't stand the wallet anymore. What's that, Jay?
A little pink diary.
Little pink Hello Kitty diary, yeah.
His rainbow scarf.
Yeah. Simon Davis's Swiss Army dildo.
Yes, that's the other thing with America. There's a huge prepper
community, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of people that, are just maybe not so much prepping, but they just like are tactically minded. People that carry guns take it really far. And
well, I've got to be fair, if I lived over there, my EDC would have to be a desert legal.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Dude, that's massive.
I'd want a Desert Eagle 50 strapped to my side.
Well, 50s aren't legal in Massachusetts. You'd have to live in Texas.
It wouldn't bother me.
It's a good job you can't buy guns over here in England, because it'd be just an absolute nightmare. All of a sudden, we'd go down from having about 65 million to about 3. I'll tell you now, it doesn't work. All this brand new gun crime, well, not brand new gun crime, all this new knife crime as well down in London and all that stuff, it's just really massively taking off. It's just horrible.
It's not new. It's not new at all. It's been going on for years. It's just it hasn't been in the press as much as it is now.
Yeah, it happens like fucking literally down the road, like from where I am. It's just fucking crazy. It just
see here up north, what you do is it's coming up this way, but before up north, you just get outside, smack crap out of each other, and then buy each other a pint. That were it, done.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's how it should be. That's old school.
Yep. It hasn't been like that in London since, well, as long as I can remember.
See, over here in like heavy gang activity sort of areas, you have these things called shot spotters, and they're just placed throughout the city, and they triangulate where a gunshot comes from. So if it hears a gunshot, it can figure out with the various microphones that are all around the city where exactly it is, and basically pinpoint it. So that's the cops get dispatched automatically. With a knife, you can't do that. It's silent. But I'm not saying that, it's a good thing or a bad thing. I mean, obviously gun violence is terrible, and it shouldn't even, that shouldn't even have to be a thing. But that is just crazy to me that, I mean, I don't own a gun. I don't own a gun. I feel like everyone over there assumes I'm American and I own a gun. No.
No, you've just got a chopstick. You're not got a chopstick. Chopstick.
Yeah.
Somebody's going to sort of pull a gun out and you go, so I'm going to fucking shoot you, dude. Hold on a minute, you've got chapped lips.
No, it was despicable me. Lipstick taser.
How'd you know?
Oh, shit.
Use a crossbow, it's better than silent, but you've just got nowhere to keep it. You can't put a crossbow in your pocket, really, can you?
You can get fold-up crossbows.
Shove it down your pants. Look,
you can get the pistol grip crossbows that fold up.
People have been.
Yeah, but by the time somebody's got a gun out at you and you start unfolding, just give me 2 minutes. Sat there with your Krypton Factor fucking crossbow. Just 2 seconds. I'm just gonna get the.
All right.
Where'd you put the hours?
Go back to back.
Yeah, takes 10 steps forward. He's sat there with his chopsticks on his mouth.
So, like, who wants to risk a £300 knife being damaged by stabbing someone? Like, I just want to know, okay, they collect knives and that, but what do they do with them? Just look at them like ornaments.
Yep.
Show them off.
There's a lot of money in the knife collector scene. A lot of money in it. There are some knives out there that are worth over £100,000.
And, don't touch it. Look at it.
A friend of mine, the same guy that collects knives and stab wood and all that, he also collects axes. He has an axe collection now from a famous axe maker that was on TV. There's a show called Forged in Fire, and that the guy that's on the show is like a super famous, you know, his axes are hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and a friend of mine has 3 of them now, and he's got one that's double bladed, and he's showing us the other day. He's like, yeah, watch this. He takes a whole notepad and he just goes chop like that, and it cuts straight through like nothing, and that thing is razor sharp.
I mean, I think I read a little while ago there was a Damascus steel reverse grip Bowie that got sold in America. I think it was last year or the year before, and it sold for something like $35,000 to $40,000.
Why is that still beeping? Fuck's sake.
Conway Valley Vapes have a question for us, the Super Vape show, Sav show, shall I say? As you are US based, shouldn't your show have a warning notice on the show? We're only 25% US based.
Yep. So just warning, this product, that's it.
Contains
no, we don't have to put a warning on this show because we're not being paid to advertise anything. That's really the only way you have to put, and it's only for e-liquid too. It's not even for hardware, I guess. But yeah, if we were being paid and sponsored by a company to promote their product, then we would kind of technically need some sort of warning, I guess. But I don't think it has to do with that. It's more or less for like social media posts on like Instagram. But I don't believe anyone has to put a big nicotine warning on the 20% of their screen during a show where they have a sponsor, where they do giveaways and stuff like that. So, and besides that, I mean, like you said, Aiden, we're only 25% USA based. So there you go. This Lean Custom Creation says this show contains nicotine addicts. That's true.
Yep.
This show contains Salt Nick.
What's up, Poggy? How you doing, fella?
So Diathing says that me and you, Nick, have talked about our own products.
What's that?
About like our own products.
Yeah, it said the Awesome Vape Show. Jay and Nick, you have both discussed your own products.
That's fair enough, yeah, but one, we're not being paid by said company to discuss that. I mean, I own a very small percentage of Blaz, and Jay is UK based, so that's fine.
And also, it's not out yet.
There you go, yeah. But
and plus, neither of you are selling it on it.
Yeah, we're not selling it, and we're not being sponsored by the product. I mean, same is true with my Instagram. Like, I literally just I show off what I like on my Instagram. I'm not being paid or sponsored to post anything in particular. It's just whatever I'm vaping on, whatever I'm holding in my hand, I just take a picture of it. It's not like they're advertising through my social media like they are with certain vape models and photographers and coil builders and all those things. Like, if you're being paid cash money to promote a product, then technically you need the warning. But and besides that, we have 92 people watching right now, and I don't think any one of them are with the FDA. So, shh.
Yeah. Obviously, if you make everybody feel better, I'm sure we can put something down at the bottom of the description just to make you all feel better.
Yeah, do you really want us to put a 20% warning across the entire screen? Like, really? Don't make me.
Yeah, the thing is, you could do it with every single product we talked about. We've done about Wismate, we've done about a lot, iJoy. We spoke about a lot of stuff. This is obviously a discussion show. We've discussed that Jay's got a new line coming out. We've discussed your line and bits that are there. Just discussing them. Also, get over to his Facebook page and
where it's not for sale, actually.
Yeah, I mean, get in trouble. I don't think anyone's going to be getting in trouble for the whole warning thing. They're really mostly concerned about actual e-liquid companies not putting them on their bottles. I don't really think they're going to go after, you know, a vape model or something like that.
But do you, in the US, do you have to put it on the zero nic bottles?
That's a gray area, because in the US, 0 milligram is still considered a tobacco product.
We don't have them warnings on the zero nic bottles over here.
I don't believe it's required on 0 milligram, but a lot of people are doing it anyways, just for consistency's sake. But I do get questions all the time that say, "What's this big warning?" When they ask for 0 milligram, they say, "What's this big warning that says it contains nicotine?" I'm like, "Oh, well, they just put that on there." And they're like, "Well, does it contain nicotine?" I'm like, "No, it says 0 milligram." And they're like, "But what about the warning?" I'm like,
So that's so crazy. Over here, the bottles where the juice is in, where it's a short fill, 0 milligram, you don't have to put a warning on. But an empty tank, you have to put a warning on.
Yeah. Hi, Stan.
Or if you're buying a mod alone without the tank, you don't have to put the warning on. That's crazy. So tanks and coils, atomizers, zeromisers, whatever you want to call them, have to have the warnings on.
Even mods haven't.
Yep.
Not mod only. It's not just mod only. There's a few companies that don't do it, like Asmodus don't do it. Aspire don't do it for the NX30 mod alone. It's only when it's a tank or a kit.
I always think that's stupid, because obviously it doesn't contain nicotine.
No, and the person that gets it might be on a 0 milligram and will never ever use nicotine.
Yeah, it's stupid.
So I think they, if they're going to keep the warning, they should probably label it a bit different. Warning: this could contain nicotine if you add it to it.
That's why I don't understand your laws.
We're all politically correct in this country, so why are they just doing this contains nicotine when clearly at this point of sale it doesn't?
Right. It could also contain cyanide if you put it in there. You know?
Exactly.
Doesn't make any sense. None. What's up, Stan? Stan Tenacious TX Vapes joining us. So yeah, more people are kind of going back and forth on what's supposed to happen with e-liquid sponsored shows, I guess. I honestly am not worried about it as far as this show is concerned. Yeah, I mean, I really don't think the FDA is going to go after a mostly UK-based show on YouTube. Let's get your screenshots in now. Oh my god.
Chucky on steroids.
Chucky got older. Oh my god.
I have just drank badger piss.
That was you.
Yeah, honestly, people, you could talk about it all the way through. There's plenty of shows out there that have got sponsors, and they don't put warnings on. They're giving away stuff and bits and bobs. They don't put warnings on it. If the FDA wanted to come after somebody because they've mentioned a product or something like that, or they've said, look at my line, we're very small fish in a massive, ginormous, huge pond, and I'm sure they wouldn't.
Yeah, definitely.
Definitely not look that we were doing.
They're going to go for someone. They're going to go for someone that's earning millions and millions and millions of pounds, so they could get a decent lawsuit out of them.
Right. I mean, but like, you know, even if they were to like write us a letter or something, you go, you guys don't have warnings. It's like, okay, well, we'll put a warning on then. If that's what it comes down to, just wait until they enforce it.
Does it only have to be 20%? Yeah.
I don't know. No one knows.
So
are you kidding?
Theoretically, you could only put it on for 20% of the show.
Yeah. So 20% of the show. That's 1/5 of 2 hours. Math.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
It's actually 25% because there's 4 of us, but don't worry.
Whatever. I don't know. Does it matter?
Well, to be honest with you, the other 10% is Mama Vape's in it because she's the extra 10% she brought work she does in the chat. Thank you very much for that as well.
Oh yeah, what we could actually do is each week just rotate it and have a banner on one of our screens. So that's 25%. There's loopholes everywhere.
Oh,
anyway,
yeah. Stan says Joel would throw a fit if we had to put the warning on the Vape Stew show. Like, yep. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I don't feel the need to comply, and you know, I don't feel like a lot of people feel the need to comply. Oh, that's true. Jonathan Redmond says, just get Nick to wear a T-shirt with a warning on it. Done.
That's your vaping lifestyle thing, isn't it?
Yeah. My lifestyle shirt. Shut up, you fucking clown. You bastard.
Not saying that one, Stephen.
Tubed in UK says, you have reviewers doing giveaways only on Patreon due to YouTube rules, but the same people do giveaways on live shows. Are the rules with YouTube different for live shows? Technically not.
but
the thing is,
require it though, does it?
It's a catch-22 because according to YouTube's community guidelines, you cannot charge for a giveaway. So if you're doing a giveaway, you can do a giveaway, but you can't charge people to enter the giveaway. Mm-hmm. So, but the FDA rules over here in the States say that you have to have a transaction. You can't just give someone something, right? So what we do is you give something away, you know, you have, like, you pick your winner and you email them and you say, hey, so there's an FDA fee. You have to pay me this much and I'll send it to you. They're not paying to enter the contest. They're paying to receive the prize, essentially. They're paying to actually get it shipped. So it's the winner that actually has to pay, not every single person that enters. So I couldn't do like a raffle on here.
They can't do a giveaway on a review. The live show is not a review. But I do giveaways in reviews.
But you're a live reviewer.
Yeah.
The trouble is as well, though, is you get the fact that it's such a grey area with YouTube of what a giveaway is and what a giveaway isn't. It's sort of like they change the rules a little bit, and then all the reviewers started panicking. I know me and Jay have got a Puma to give away each. I've just sort of stepped back and thought, hold on, I'll just wait and see how it works out. There's still people doing weekly giveaways on the YouTube channel.
Right.
Stephen Whitlock, I can honestly say I'm not surprised at that.
Right, just to let you guys know, I've got 8% of my battery.
Okay, bye.
We still have people joining in. It's like 7. Oh, did he really leave? He's still here. He just shut his camera off. There he is. Um, DJ LSB has been calling it a chance to score. And you aren't allowed to do giveaways as Patreon rewards. I don't do giveaways as part of my Patreon rewards. Like, there's not a specific thing that you win or whatever. I do a monthly giveaway for the tiers. So I have like one tier that gets you entered into one giveaway. I have another tier that gets you entered into 2 giveaways, and I have another tier that gets you entered into 3 giveaways.
Can't you just solve that by just doing a lucky dip?
I don't know.
I saw actually I was watching a YouTube thing, and they were still saying that you're not allowed to give anything away on Patreon, but I'm not quite sure. Obviously, they were saying you weren't allowed to do any giveaways on it.
I mean, YouTube rules are so vague, and just all these rules are so vague, and they're definitely not tailored to vaping either. So it's just basically
they make them that vague. So if anyone starts complaining in the masses, they can say, "Hey, you're breaking the guidelines." That's why they make them so vague, so they can just do it as and when they suit.
Right. Yeah. Patreon doesn't give a crap until someone complains, just like YouTube. And I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that get butthurt about not winning a giveaway or whatnot, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's like there will be more if you guys don't complain. How about that? You know?
Right, let's just go around the room quickly. Are you bothered? I ain't. Fuck it. Like, they can, like, I'm not bothered with all this fucking.
Well, that's the other good thing. It's a good thing of having our own channel.
We were talking about a couple of weeks back. They actually are employing people on YouTube to actually go around people's channels and sort of report them for stuff. There was, I think there was somebody, I don't think it was Tweedy Pie, I think it was somebody else or something. And this woman had gone there and she reported a channel. They're actually paying people to go around and check channels.
Yeah, there's like a YouTube Hero program or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
We call them neighborhood watch round here.
Yeah.
They're fucking life.
People that have nothing better to do, apparently, than go around and just watch content.
Then spoil someone else's shit that they've worked hard for.
Yeah, pretty much. YouTube is like a teenager. It likes to think they have it all figured out, but have no clue. Yeah, that's very accurate there. Scary accurate, if you will. Yeah,
the Amazon coming out soon as well. I think that might change a few bits, won't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Amazon just has just as strict rules as Google, which is YouTube. YouTube is owned by Google, and Amazon is its own thing, but it's going to have its own set of very strict rules.
Yeah, but they're going to be the same sort of rules as Twitch, which is you can do that real live streaming thing in there, can't you?
It's obviously with Amazon as well. It'll have its own promotion for its own products, won't it? Because it's more in-house. Like Google are having to find ads. People are paying them for ads, where Amazon have got their own sort of where they want to sell their own stuff. So they're not going to really be so geared up around, well, people don't want to do it because they're doing vaping or they're doing this. And I think that maybe Amazon will be sat down there thinking, well, we've got all our own products. So you're just going to have Amazon adverts, aren't you? You're not going to have other people.
See what Dan Dominic said there, look, they should be improving the service that they give to people, but no, let's fuck up people's lives instead.
Yeah.
I've just got a 5% warning.
All right. I think we should call it a night, everyone.
I just want to answer one comment or question from Stephen. No, I don't think the mods are worth what you're paying when they're made in China. I do own the grip mod. I do like the grip mod. I would have been happier if it was half the price of what it was.
I'd be happier if a Ferrari was half the price what it was. At least they get half more of a chance of getting one.
If the mod was made in America and it was said to have been originally, and the quality was there of an American-made mod, then yes, it would be worth the money. But being made in China, and obviously we all know that China don't use the best of quality products, the price should have been dropped.
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, I don't know, like, because they still aren't saying specifically about the grip whether or not it's made in China, although it's under the Immortal.
Apparently, they've released an email that stated everything made from 2017 onwards was made in China.
See, I saw that email, and I still don't know. I read it and I kind of breezed through it, but I don't remember specifically if it said everything or, you know, most things or whatnot. Because I know they said they started in 2017. They started, you know, using some of the Chinese manufacturers and whatnot. So it didn't say. I don't believe it said everything. But they started offloading a bunch of work to their Chinese factories. But either way, it's a very high quality device, and if it's China made, then it's a very high quality China made mod.
Yeah,
and
that I will agree with.
But otherwise, it's.
But then again, you look at Stan's Dreamer.
It's $350 too. You know, it's crazy.
No, the Dreamer's not $350.
Well, right, the Dreamer is like what, $100, $90.
Yeah, it's about £69 over here for the Dreamer. Right. And yeah, it's a Chinese made make, but it's a fucking good quality Chinese made make.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking good quality with loads of upgrade options available.
Yeah. To be honest, the price range that the Dreamer is, I would actually have personally have been happier to pay more for it. Well, I did.
Don't say that. He's watching.
I didn't get that from England.
Right.
I know, right?
The only reason I had to pay extra on it was because of bloody import duty.
And he's your mate, and you're only for it.
Damn.
But no, the Dreamer is a good mod for them, especially for the price range.
The Dreamer is worth every single penny and more due to the upgrade options and abilities that you've got to it, i.e. with the batteries.
Yep.
And the Alton button. I like to use the Alton button because it doesn't get hot. The gold plated pin, the solid silver pin. I just love the. You can customize it. It's good.
I mean, just ask Bill. I mean, Bill, what are you running yours now? Is it triple or is it quad stacks now?
Jesus.
Oh my god, I remember that. Fucking hell, and it's stacked as well. Yeah.
That's insane. All right, guys. Do you want to say your goodbyes, Jay? Since your phone's gonna die.
Bye. Thanks for accepting my lateness. I will not do it again, sir.
Yeah, right. But
yeah,
check out Kinky Vapor.
Till the next time.
Stay hydrated.
Yep.
Right.
Also, don't forget, technically next week there won't be an official SAVs show.
Yep. We'll be busy. We might do something, but I'm not making any promises.
Yep.
Don't forget, Vape Kinky, keeping your wicks wet. Oh, yeah.
Aiden, you want to sign out?
Big shout out to everybody on chat. You've been absolutely stars. You've kept this show going. Thank you very much. Big shout out to Jules, Mama Vapes. If you're not subscribed to her, make sure you go over and subscribe to her. She's kept this show going all the way through it. Thank you so much. We do appreciate it. Thank you very much to all the lads. If you've not gone over and subscribed to these lads, get yourself over there and give them a little bit of a sub. Great reviewers. And once again, people, thank you so much for the show. And we will not see you next week. Well, we might do, but we might not.
Yeah.
There you go.
That was so confusing.
Yeah. Well, cheers everyone in chat. Cheers to everyone on the panel as well. Don't know, are we doing an after show tonight as it's the last one?
I cannot.
Nope. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Airy muff.
Let's get summer out of the way.
You what?
Let's get summer out of the way.
Okay, Robo Joe.
Yeah. I'm not there tonight.
Yeah, cheers everyone in chat for coming in, and without you lot, the show wouldn't be going, would it? So thank you.
There you go. And I'm going to get ready to hit the button real quick, but yeah, thank you guys all for joining us for another wonderful, spectacular episode of Super Awesome Vape Show. And we'll catch you in a couple of weeks, if not sooner, because we'll probably end up doing something on this profile during the show. But
yeah, there's bound to be some sort of shenanigans.
Yeah, exactly. But anyways, guys, have a good night, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Laters.
There you go.